other than a special law, we have no tools whatsoever. And there have been many labor conflicts that have triggered many damages to the population. And we had to have some tools to intervene and to make sure that the population is well protected following a strike or a lockout. It seems to me that when there is no essential service, it's at the end of the day, it's the population that can be affected by the conflict. And according to the Quebec Labor Code, we have nothing, no provisions whatsoever to do something, again, to protect and make sure that we put an end to a situation that is very detrimental to the population.
On your new power, if this bill becomes law, on your new power to ask for arbitration, what will be your criteria to ask for arbitration when you say, no, enough is enough?
And as you know, the arbitration process, the second tool, doesn't apply to the public and parapublic sector. And the criteria is the préjudice sérieux ou irréparable, so the serious damage, serious or irreversible damage to the population. This is the criteria.
And would you have an example in mind when you think of it?
As I answered to that question a few minutes ago, no, everyone can think about a specific situation, but it's a very exceptional recourse that would be used as a last resort. But it's fundamentally to protect the population.
Merci, Olivia O'Malley, CTV.
Unions are saying that you're taking away their strongest pressure tactic. What would your message to them be today as you tabled this bill?
I will keep talking with them as I've been for so many years. And I know that the right to strike is a fundamental one that is in the Charter, that is in the Canadian as well, the Quebec one. I understand the parameters of the decision that was handed down by the Canada Supreme Court in Saskatchewan, and all the decisions that have been handed down all across the nation. So I say to the union, we have the same objective. We negotiate collective agreements, we negotiate renewals of collective bargaining agreements, but we have to find an agreement that is at the satisfaction of both parties. At one point, if there's a stalemate, as it were, we can use a right to strike for the union and the right to lock out for an employer, and I will always be respectful to that right. But beyond a certain point, we have to make sure that there are minimum services that have to be maintained. And again, in certain sectors, like the health and social services one, there are essential services. But in so many different sectors, there's nothing. So my message, we have the same objective.